तो ऐसे ऐसे लोग ज्वाइन करते रहेंगे। बिस्मिल्लाहिर्रहमानिर्रहीम। आज मुबाहित के प्लेटफॉर्म से हम डॉक्टर फारूक आजम राठौर को बहुत वेलकम करते हैं। सर, थैंक यू वेरी मच फॉर कमिंग एंड ज्वाइनिंग अस। आई विल गिव अ ब्रीफ इंट्रोडक्शन फॉर यू. Dr. Farooq Rathore is a professor and consultant in rehab medicine. He is also co-editor-in-chief for Journal of International Society of Physical Medicine and Rehab. He is also national representative of Pakistan for ISPRM and Asia Oceanic Society for PMR. Dr. Rathore has a vast experience in research. He has more than 200 published articles and he has conducted more than 150 workshops for research and other activities. His niche is AI in medical research, and for that, we are honored to have him here. It's all over to Dr. Farooq Rathore, sir.
Thank you, Bismillah Rahman Rahim. Thank you very much, Dr. Umar and Dr. Mizan, for the invitation. So, give me a second to share my screen and please confirm that you can see, then I'll start, inshallah. So, can
We
you
can
see
see
this
it, sir.
white blank screen?
So we can see it.
Okay. So, we'll start and our colleagues will join in so that we have ample time for question and answer at the end. So, we need to understand that the world is changing and it's changing at a very fast pace. And right now, it is the artificial intelligence technology that is leading this change. These AI tools have been integrated in our personal and professional life, and some would actually argue that the future that we used to see is already here. And most of this futuristic insight is possible again because of the widespread and easy availability of artificial intelligence tools in our personal and professional lives. These AI tools have been rapidly integrated in their workflow both by students, professionals, and other people around the globe. And because of that, now days worth of academic work can actually be completed within minutes and hours. You see around you, you'll see professionals, teachers, educators, students, researchers who have integrated these AI tools in their daily research and academic workflow. Just to give you an idea where the world is moving, I'll share the result of a survey that was conducted and published by Nature in October 23. While interpreting the result of this survey, you need to understand that this survey is almost 18 months old, which means that the world has actually moved along a long way. And now, probably the figures that I'm going to share today have improved and increased over the last 18 months. The important result of this global survey of 1,600 researchers around the world that what they thought about integration of artificial intelligence and science revealed that around 30% of them in October 23 said that they had used generative AI tools to help them write manuscript. If it was 30% 18 months ago, I'm pretty sure it's more than 80% right now in 2025. Around 15% of them said that they had used these AI tools to help them write grant application. Now, grant application is something that most of us, at least who are based in developing countries and specifically in Pakistan with a medical background, are not very familiar with the concept of writing a competitive grant for research. We need to understand that doing research and writing research is a great thing. And we must strive to write articles, do research, and publish them in good journals. But winning a competitive research grant is actually the next step of academic evolution that we should actually strive for because it is actually getting paid for the research that you are going to do. It is sort of an honor that is bestowed upon you that your research is of such a high quality that you compete at a national and international level. And not only you win a grant, but you are actually being financed for doing that high quality research. So it's the next step of academic evolution. But unfortunately, for most of us, at least in my own case, we were never given any training or any guidance or insight how to write or compete for a grant application. There are experts available out there who would actually charge you hundreds of US dollars in order to help you write a grant application. And most of us cannot afford that kind of hundreds of dollars of affordability. But now, because of the widespread availability of these AI tools, you can not only create, improve, revise, but also answer the questions raised by reviewers on your grant application. This is a window of opportunity that anyone who has a device connected to internet can avail. And this should be a food for thought for all of the participants that they need to go beyond writing research article and probably also start competing for the research grants. And now, even if they don't have a formal teacher or mentor who can guide them, probably these AI tools can help fill that gap. And this is very important and interesting, which is a part of how these AI tools are democratizing access to these tools around the globe. More than half of the respondents felt that a major benefit of these generative AI is its ability to edit and translate writing for researchers whose first language is not English. Writing in appropriate English in order to get published in high ranking biomedical journals has been a major challenge and barrier that is faced by people who are based in developing countries like Pakistan. Because our first language is not English, and we sometimes sort of like struggle with writing such high quality English which can compete with the English that other people and researchers are writing for an international biomedical audience. Usually, the language, grammar, and syntax editing service again can cost you anywhere between 250 to even 500 US dollar for a single article. And obviously, most of us cannot spend 200 to 500 US dollar only on editing and language improvement of a single manuscript. Now, these tools have actually provided us an opportunity where we can use them ethically, transparently, and it can help us improve the quality of language, grammar, and syntax of our article. Which means that if we do good science and we use this article to improve and polish the quality of articles, it can actually help us publish in high ranking biomedical journals. And from a medical point of view, for most of us who are working in clinical science or in clinical specialty where they have to interact with patient, one of the major barriers and one of the major issues with people based in developing countries is that we do not have our own local contextual patient education material. Most of the material on patient education that you would see out there is in English language. And at least, okay, we can understand English language, but our patient are unable to understand that foreign language. And honestly, clinicians don't have that kind of time and luxury and support in which they can create patient education material in local Urdu, Punjabi, Pashto, you just name any language. Now, these AI tools and LLMs are so powerful that they can easily, within second, translate a whole patient educational deck into a local language. Obviously, you have to then revise it and give your own input. But this is an excellent starting point that was not available to us at least before the advent and availability of these AI tools. So you need to understand that, although this webinar is all about research and writing and stuff like that, but possibilities with proper integration of AI tool are actually limitless. It all depends on your imagination, how you want to use these AI tools ethically and transparently, and it can actually improve your not only workflow, it will enhance your research and writing. It is going to help you in your daily dealing with your patient and your clients as well. So we need to understand change is inevitable, growth is optional. Just because you are not comfortable in using these AI tools does not mean that the world is going to stop for you. You need to understand that these AI tools are categorized as disruptive technology, which means just like electricity, just like mobile phone, cars, these tools are not going to roll back. They are here to stay, they are evolving, and they are evolving at a very rapid pace. So you need to keep up with this change and go for the growth mode. So what we are going to do today is I'm going to do a very brief overview or a webinar on the introduction of AI tools in medical research and writing. A little bit of disclaimer, just to clarify a couple of things before I formally start. You need to understand that whenever we talk of research and writing with or without AI tools, there is no one standard way. There is no one standard cheat sheet. There is no one particular framework. In this case, this interaction or this webinar is based on my own personal experiences and views about AI tools. And I would just like most of you, I started integrating and these using these AI tools just in November 22, just 2.5 years ago, right? And my background is from rehabilitation medicine, pain medicine, and bioethics. I'm a military doctor. So all of this actually based on this interaction and these personal experiences. It is impossible to cover all tools and all aspects related to research and writing in a 45-minute webinar. So I'll only give you an overview, and probably then you can attend one of my future sessions in detail. There are actually thousands of tools available out there. I'm going to share a couple of them with you today with references and with links. But whenever I share a particular tool, please do not take it as an endorsement, because there's a possibility there's a better tool available out there. If you know of such a tool, please feel free to share that in the chat box at the end of this presentation. And the most important, this is not a hands-on demonstration session or a live demo. I'm only going to talk to you, and then we are going to interact either through chat, or you can unmute yourself and ask question, and we are going to have an interactive question and answer session. Whenever we talk of AI tools, integration in research and writing, many people, especially based in developing countries, and especially who are a little bit senior in the academic hierarchy, they think that these AI tool integration is something very unique. It is something very new, and probably this is something that's optional. We need to understand that artificial intelligence tools were already part of our personal and professional lives for more than 2 decades. Actually, they were working at the back end, and we were not well aware how they have been integrated in our lives. Whenever you do a Google search or you use Google Maps, it is all based on artificial intelligence algorithms. Whether you use your Gmail or you scroll through your social media feed, Facebook, Instagram, or Twitter, everyone gets a different kind of feed based on his or her previous experiences and what they are looking for. So it is actually catered catered for each one unique need based on AI algorithm. Facial recognition. There are 8 billion people in this world right now, but your smartphone opens up and gives you access only when your face is shown to that app. What's happening? AI working on the back end. Same goes for recommendation on online shopping apps or maybe Netflix and YouTube. But it was actually in November 2022 that we woke up one day and we got to know about this magical thing known as ChatGPT version 3. And this tool had more than 100 million users within 30 days. This was the highest adaptation of any tool in the human history. Not electricity, not mobile phone, internet, Instagram, Facebook. No other tool or invention in the world had this kind of uptake within 30 days. 100 million users in 1 month. And probably that was the reason that this tool or this thing got so much of attention that Time had to actually put up it on its front page, right? So this was something that actually shaped the world, that something unique has happened, and probably it's not going to roll back. So now we jump into the main part, that how we use these AI tool in research and writing. Before I start with that, I have a question. So in your opinion, what are the important steps, only steps 1, 2, 3, while writing a research paper? You can use the chat box to answer. So I'll wait for your answer and then we'll move forward. What are the important steps in writing a research paper? What is the first one usually? And please, the more you interact, the more interesting it will going to be. Steps in writing a research paper. Research gap, good. Research abstract or research proposal, okay, that's a good one. Anything else? What next? Dr. Kinza, yeah, identifying the journal, yeah, but there are certain steps before that as well. So we should be talking about that, yeah. So embed format, once you are about to write your article, you write with the introduction, material, method, discussion, good. Anything else? Research question, yeah, Dr. Umar, excellent. Outcome of the research question, yeah. So you might want to say that the research question or the brainstorming is the first thing that you do, and then you build upon on that one, okay? Anything else? So you are done with your research question, abstract, proposal. What next? So I'll make it simple for you. In my, how I say it. So in my opinion, so this is how it looks like. You come up with a research idea or a research question. Then you do a literature search. And usually by literature search, people understand or think that this is all about the process of literature search. That is, you go online on a manual or an AI tool and you put in some keywords and you get some results. That is not the only step of a literature search. A literature search means that not only you do the process of literature search, you also have to read the article to make a sense. And then you have to extract the data based on which you are either going to refine your research question, or you are going to create your own research idea, or you are going to identify the research gaps. And then obviously it's going to help you create a research questionnaire. And obviously in the end, it's going to help you write a discussion section as well. So all these things are interrelated and part of the research literature search. Then obviously either you create a research questionnaire or a data collection tool, or you use an already validated tool. Then in some cases, especially for a degree requirement, you have to write what we call either a synopsis, a protocol, or a proposal. And then you have to get it approved by an ethical research committee or maybe or board of advanced science study and stuff like that. Then comes the field work, which means you have to collect the data and then you have to do a data analysis. And then the hard part, that is the writing the manuscript itself, in which you have to take very special care of the language, grammar, syntax, how to do the citation, what would be the format, how many pages, and stuff like that. So many things are involved in actually writing the manuscript. And obviously, then you have to select an appropriate journal and you have to send that article to that journal in order to make it a good fit so that your article is published well in time. The good thing is that now different kind of AI tools can help you with each of these steps of writing a research article. That's the good thing. And now we have to learn how to integrate these different kind of tools in this workflow transparently and ethically. So I'll start with giving you some very specific example of how AI tools are being used or can be transparently, ethically used in scientific writing. So as I just told you, there are so many steps involved in writing a research article. I'll start with the first one, that is brainstorming ideas. And in my opinion, I think this is one of the most important and unique use of these large language models or AI tool that was not available to us before their availability. I'll explain this. So you can actually think of these AI tools as someone who has been fed on billions and billions of token of information. The amount of information available to an LLM is much more than even a group of human beings can actually have. And the most important thing is that not only these LLM have access to almost every subject known to humankind. You just name it: medical science, agriculture science, computer science, social science, astrophysics, physics, chemistry, just name it. These LLM have access to that global huge pool of knowledge. And that's not the only advantage they have over us. They are able to retrieve that information very quickly, which human beings cannot do, fortunately or unfortunately. And the third thing is that they can make connection between these diverse kind of fields, which we cannot do because of our inability to look beyond our own field. So even if you talk of medical science is generally divided into three, right? First is the medical track, MBBS and BDS, the physician, the doctors, and the dentist, right? Then you have nurses, the nursing track, and then you have a whole group of allied healthcare professional, physical therapists, occupational therapists, medical technologists, and so many other things, right? And nowadays, every person is expert of his or her own field. We don't even know of things beyond our field. But these LLMs, they have access to that kind of knowledge and they can actually bring such unique perspective that were not available to us before the availability of these AI tools. So you must use these AI tools to brainstorm ideas, identify research gap, and to create such innovative and different kind of interdisciplinary research questions that are going to stand apart. Obviously, it will take time, it will take patience. You have to create really good kind of prompts, you have to iterate them. But if you learn that tool of how to create a good prompt and interact with this LLM tool in order to brainstorm, you are definitely going to be a class apart among your peers. Because most of your peers are only stuck on this article kaise likhe hum chat GPT se. You have to go beyond that. Then another very important advantage of these LLMs is that you should be using them to create outlines, right? So whether you are giving a lecture to your class, you are creating a presentation for a conference, you are doing a workshop, you are doing a webinar like this, or you are writing a review article, a research article, a narrative review, it's a good idea to ask these LLM to create an outline for you, to give you some fresh new perspective in which you can then fill in the blanks with your own creativity. It's going to save you a lot of time, and this is how you make it a writing partner. Then I just told you literature search is a process which includes doing the literature search, reading the article, and extracting data. It was used to be a very tedious process, a long process, but now this process has been enhanced by many AI tools, which we are going to discuss later on. Literature mapping is also a very good, I mean, it's a new concept for me and most of my colleagues. Literature mapping is how you actually map out and create the connection between different articles. So it's not about reading the article. It's not about just simply identifying the article. It's about how does that article relate to some other article in its own field or unrelated field. So mapping gives you an overview of the whole process. Then obviously once you are doing a literature search or writing a research, you have to read a lot of article. And all of us are very short of time because of our personal and professional commitments. And these AI tools, if you use them smartly, you can actually use them in order to summarize and enhance and improve the speed of your reading. There are issues with all of these. We are going to discuss that, but it is something that was not available earlier, and you can use a good use of these AI tools. Then obviously, yes, you can use them to generate text and content as well, but you have to be very clear about the guidelines issued by your own university or the journal in which you are planning to submit the article. Because, for example, I clearly remember in case of PGMS, Pakistan Journal of Medical Sciences. So their editor-in-chief in one of the conferences clearly said that we know that AI tools are being used and it's part of the change. So we will allow probably 20 or 21% of AI generated content. So if it is more than that, we are going to ask the author to revise in their own words. Otherwise, we are going to allow up to 20 or 21% of AI generated content. So there's nothing wrong with using AI tools even to generate content, but then most of the content should be your own creativity, your own writing, and your own thought process. You simply cannot copy and paste an output of a chat GPT or any other AI tool and then present it as your own. That's not allowed. Then I just told you that one of the major barriers that we face in developing countries with non-English speaking group is that our primary language is not English, and we have to improve the language, grammar, syntax of our articles. And these AI tools are very powerful language editors, and they can provide you with high quality language and grammar check in order to improve the quality of your writing. Obviously, bibliography and referencing, converting one form to another one, it can be done by these tools. You can use them to check for plagiarism and AI detection, and obviously journal selection. And I'm going to give you a couple of examples for each of them later on, inshallah. But before we move on in actually discussing different tools used in research and writing, you need to understand that you have to see through the hype, and you have to actually understand the process of research and writing. The process of research and writing is not about the end point. It is not about creating an article or getting published or submitting your thesis to your university in order to get a degree. If your only aim is the end point, the end product, so unfortunately, you might be tempted to do what many people are doing nowadays in Pakistan and developing countries. They fraudulently pay others and even non-medical people to write articles for them, write their dissertation and thesis for them from non-existing data. Or they pay someone कि हमारा नाम इसमें डाल दो. ठीक है? That is something that is totally unethical, not allowed. If you get caught, you are going to face major embarrassment and punishment as well. Because you need to understand research and writing is a journey. Focus on the journey itself, not the destination of writing two, three, or four articles. Because joy is found in not finishing an activity but doing it. And just go back a couple of months to years back. आप में से जिन लोगों ने अपना आर्टिकल लिखे हैं, don't you think that once you started on day one, and if you see yourself today on 12th April 2025, has this process of research and writing taught you a lot about your professional standing? Has it made you a wiser person? Have you learned something about how to write article, how to express your thoughts, how to collect data, how to interact with people, how to work in a team? Do you think that involving yourself in research and writing has taught you a lot or not? Yes or no? Yes or no? Chat box, please. Yes. So because you were invested in the journey itself, you were not focused on the destination. You wanted to learn. And on the way, yes, you created, you published some articles, you did with your dissertation or thesis or proposal, but you learned a lot, right? And this is why we need to understand that what makes us human beings. What was the thing that made humans the dominant species on planet Earth for the last thousands of years, for last so many millennia, despite the fact that there are much more powerful species, much smarter species available out there? It was actually the process of writing. It all started with a thousands of years of journey of reading, understanding, and it culminated in writing. And writing is not something that is, you can say, oh, isme badi baat kya hai? Writing is actually one of the most powerful expression of human beings because it comes from three things. First of all, reading. اقرأ بسم ربك الذي خلق. Read. You not only read, you critically analyze what you have read. You try to make a sense. You try to understand the meanings. And then it comes to writing. Writing can be a writing in form of a pen or pencil. It could be a typing on a screen of computer. But you need to understand that writing is what defined human beings. It consisted of reading, critical analysis of the reading, and then writing, that is expression. And once it is written, it is now there for rest of the humanity because we know that manuscript and writings from thousands of years of ago are available, and now you can actually have a glimpse how those people used to live, interact, and what was their thought process. So writing is one of the most important defining features of human being. Now, for good or bad, AI tools are available for each of these steps. They are AI tools who can read for you. They are AI tools who can critically analyze it for you and extract information. And yes, they are AI tools which can write for you. But if you totally rely on these, you are actually exporting all of your human traits to these AI tools. And you need to understand then there's a serious issue that you are going to face because every in this today's hyped up world where AI tools are being sold as the ultimate solution to everything, right? And we need to understand that there's a darker side of AI as well, on which most of the people are not talking. I'm not going to go in detail, but you need to understand that, too much reliance on these AI tools, especially in youngsters who have not developed a pool of knowledge, who have not understood how to read, write, understand, critically analyze. If they give everything to the AI tool to do, there is definitely going to be a cognitive decline in the longer run. It's just like use it or lose it. I mean, anyone who is regularly doing an exercise is going to develop a muscle. And anyone who is having a sedentary lifestyle, not moving around much, is either going to have obesity or going to lose the muscle mass. This is nothing science, common sense. And same goes for these AI tools as well. This is one of the pieces that we wrote a couple of months ago. There's a hype that AI tools can summarize article within second. It can speed up the process of research and writing 10 times and stuff like that. But you need to step back in the hype and you need to understand there are problems with each of these tools as well. For example, in case of AI powered literature search, have you ever thought on which basis it gives you result? If I do a research on a tool, it's going to give me slightly different variation than Dr. Umar or Dr. ABC. Why? What is this black box nature of these AI tools? How do these algorithms make a decision? Is there a clarity? The answer is no. So we need to understand that there's a lot of hype going on. You always have to pause and use your own mind and then analyze everything, including these AI tools, with a critical eye. And again, another example of this literature tool. So Elicit and Consensus are one of the biggest AI-powered literature tools available out there. So Jessica Parker, which is one of the higher education expert, so I took this screenshot from LinkedIn. So she says that Elicit and Consensus are building their knowledge base on top of Semantic Scholar database. And the problem with Semantic Scholar is that the semantic scholar is not categorized and distribution is heavily skewed, which means that this AI tool, if they do not get an answer, they're going to simply say it is not available. But she says it might actually mean there is no digitally accessible research on that tool. So you need to understand all these things. And Talur says, some group have impressed me with their creativity and originality, while others have seemed to embrace ChatGPT as a crutch, blindly accepting whether it's generated with very little due diligence. And I have a concern as a teacher, as an educator, that in the next 10 years, we are going to see an epidemic of so-called smart students and people who are going to enter in the professional world. They will have perfect GPAs. They will have perfect essays, very good assignments, A grades, but they are going to miserably fail in interviews. They are going to miserably fail in offices because they do not have any interpersonal communication skills. And most of their training and teaching was based on getting answers from ChatGPT. They tried not to use ChatGPT as a partner, but as a crutch. And since you cannot take out a crutch everywhere in every interaction, and once the crutch will not be there, they are going to feel handicapped and they are not going to perform as an A-star students as they used to perform when there was no one to check them. And you need to understand, same applies for research and writing. It is a journey, it is not a destination. If you give everything to AI tool and simply blindly copy and paste its output, you are going to face the same dilemma in your research journey as well. Now, coming to the last part of some recommended AI tool and websites, because there are so many others as well. I told you that you must use these AI tools to brainstorm research ideas and creating unique, powerful, and intriguing titles for your research article, narrative review, your presentations, and for your lectures as well. And for that, you can start with ChatGPT, which is one of the most commonest used. And please remember, now even the free version of these tools offers such kind of functionality that was not available even in the paid version 1 year ago. They are evolving at a very rapid pace, and the amount of features they are offering in their free versions is actually more than enough for most of us. Obviously, if you want to up your game and you want to be if you want to lead this kind of race, it is a good idea to invest in getting a pro version. But even if you're using a free version, yes, you have to then create very good appropriate prompts. You have to interact with these tools and you're going to come up with really good brainstorming ideas based on the same thing that I explained: access to information, rapid retrieval, and making connection that is only possible by these LLMs. Apart from ChatGPT, you can go for Claude. Claude is an excellent tool for writing and refining it. It can actually, you can choose your own style. You can upload your article. It will review your article and then create a style for you. And that style, writing style, is going to be as close to your writing style. So Claude is really fantastic in generating ideas and writing help as well. Then you all are probably familiar with Gemini by Google. And again, it also offers you a lot of functionalities. And the recent functionality that they offered is deep research. And it is an agentic research, which is excellent. It gives you a whole breakup of actually the process of how it reached to a particular conclusion. And it can actually help you write very rapidly, within minutes, a whole draft of a review article with references as well. Gemini. This is very good. ResearchGecko is not free of cost, but it is an online app or an AI powered app which is created by Mushtaq Bilal, who is a PhD based in Denmark. He's a Pakistani working in here, probably humanities and linguistics. So he has created this tool, ResearchGeek, and ResearchGeek is specifically for creating high quality, relevant research questions. And it again, it is integrated with Site, Medline, and also Semantic Scholar. The interface is pretty cool, and you can actually buy tokens for as low as 10 US dollar, which is, I know, absolutely affordable for anyone in this country, any student. So, but this is a very good, powerful tool that is going to help you create really high quality research question, and it will give you an idea that whether these questions are being answered in literature or not. Researchcake.com. I would strongly recommend you use this. Then coming to literature search, again, there are like more than 2 dozen website and tools available out there. You don't need to be master of everyone. You stick to a couple of them and you become master of these. The world's first AI-powered literature search engine was Semantic Scholar by Allen Institute. It was launched in probably 2018 or 19, even before COVID-19 hit. And this was much before this chat GPT stuff like this came in. It is available free of cost, and it has more than probably 220 million articles, not only on medical science, but almost every subject available out there. Very powerful tool and website, Semantic Scholar, and it offers you a lot of functionalities as well if you register for free on this website. Again, then consensus is also not very specific to medical, but it gives you a lot of ideas and you can actually make connection between different subjects because consensus will allow you access to those kind of resources as well. So again, it has a free version and a paid version, and the free version is good enough to kickstart your journey. So please go and explore consensus. Evidence health, evidence hunt is specifically geared toward medical sciences and specifically toward clinical sciences. If you want to ask a clinical question, a research question, evidence hunt is a very good place to start your research. You need to understand that on the surface it appears that these are all literature search tools. They are very similar. No, they are not similar. Every tool is going to offer you one or two unique functionalities which are not available in another tool. Because this is a corporate world, they are competing for your attention and for your money, right? So they have to offer something unique, they have to offer something different. So in this case, Evidence Hunt is going to offer you something different. Probably it is the website that offers you that literature search in form of a PICO questionnaire, that it is going to extract that what are the patient intervention, comparison, outcome, stuff like that. Really cool website, Evidence Hunt. Site is again very powerful. It not only does a literature search for you, it can also create maps for you. It also can extract articles for you. So as you can see, you can select papers, you can upload paper, or you can use your own dashboard site. Again, free version is also available, but my recommendation would be go for the pro version. Undermined AI, again, it's a powerful tool which was recently launched around 6 months ago. And as they claim that condense weeks of research to minute, and they can actually do that. So if you do a lot of literature search and you have 20, 30, 40, 50 articles available with you, you can actually either upload them to Undermined or you can create a new literature search on Undermined and extract the information that you can then help create literature review. You can help create literature write-ups or discussions. Literature mapping is a concept that I told you. It's a new way of discovering scholarly article by exploring connection between publication. Many a time we reference or cite article without honestly understanding and reading. Citation by citation. But you need to understand how closely this article either supports or negates a particular article. So Research Rabbit is important because it is free of cost. There are other really good, powerful tools available out there, but Research Rabbit at present is free of cost. So you start with a seed article, and then it's ideally you should start with 2 or 3 articles, and then you go on creating the map. So this is how this map is created, and you can then go on exploring the connections. So apart from this, we have lit maps, but lit maps has a freemium version. That is, the free version has limited functionality, and then you have to go for the full paid version. And same goes for site. Connected paper is also a good option, but connected paper is does not probably has a freemium version. It is only has a paid version. Then, if you have data with you, you can use even AI tools to analyze the data. One of the most common question I'm being asked is, can we use data and AI data analysis tools? Yes, you can use them. We have been using SPSS, we have been using R, we have been using Excel, and even now AI is being integrated in those tools as well. So Julius is very powerful, but again, it is a freemium version. For full functionality, you have to buy a full version, and it can get integrated with your Dropbox and so many things. It can help you with creating chart, graphs, insight, and so many things, right? Same goes for Data Squirrel. The interface is pretty cool, and you can do a lot of things with this. Again, you can try it in the free version, and then you might want to go for the full version as well. And again, another tool that you can explore is group.ai. And apart from these tools, other important and influential tools are available out there. But my experience is limited to these three. So that's why I only recommended these three. Then one of the important part of writing a research article is that you have to read a lot of articles, you have to summarize, you have to understand the text, you have to extract the information in order to write an introduction or maybe to write a discussion and stuff like that. For that, important tool is Humata. There are so many, even you can use Chat GPT or Claude to extract information and speed read. But whenever I get time, I'll give you a demo that these tools that Humata is much powerful and much more versatile than ChatGPT because it would actually give you an actual reference of the text from which it is taking the information. So the interface is pretty cool, and the free version will allow you uploading of up to 60 pages, which is pretty cool for most of us in a day, right? Then Anara is again a multi-function tool. As you can see, quickly understand paper, books, and audio. So you can actually upload not only article and paper, but you can actually upload whole books. You can upload whole audio files, and it's going to extract information in order to write and cite, chat with your videos and document, and you can actually start recording and chatting with this tool as well. So I just told you every tool brings in a different functionality because it's a different tool, right? Chat PDF is also very powerful and offers you almost the same functionalities. Then comes coming to the writing part. Again, I'm not saying that you should be using these AI tool to write everything, but you can write a part of that, or you can brainstorm, or you can get ideas, right? Because one of the very important option available in these writing AI tool is that you can ask it to give you a contrasting view. So you are stuck on one view, and you can ask this AI tool to give me a contrasting view. Is there any other critique on the writing that I have written? And it's going to give you those kind of ideas. So Jenny is very powerful, but the problem with Jenny is the free version will allow you only 200 words. That's only a single paragraph. It's not of no use at all. But probably the annual subscription is going to cost you, the discounted version is probably with discount 16,000 rupees, which comes to 1,200 per a month, which is pretty affordable for any student in Pakistan as well. But my personal favorite is Lex Page. It's very powerful. It gives you so many functionalities, and you can actually perform a peer review of your own article that you have written by Lex Page. And it's going to give you really good detailed feedback that can help you improve the quality of your writing as well. Then the world is rapidly moving toward launch of multi-function AI tool, a single tool that can perform many functions. For example, very famous SciSpace, which is known as typeset.io, and they have recently launched their deep review. Again, this deep review is agentic review based on an agent, very detailed. It gives you a whole sort of like a sequence how it reached a particular article, and it gives you an overview of that very fast and very really cool stuff. And as you can see that they are adding new options to their arsenal every month. So right now they have citation booster, literature review, copilot, citation generator, paraphraser, AI detector, so many things available in a single tool. This another tool which is a pretty cool, can help you write an article is Research Pal. And as you can see, it will help you write document, do a literature review, find references that will literature search, search paper, extracting insight, and to create your own library. So everything available in a single tool. Another good tool for writing is PaperPal by Editage. And as you can see, it offers you art discovery, mind the graph paper. So many things are available at a single platform. Obviously, this is not available for free, or the free version will only offer you very limited functionalities. But if you are seriously considering writing 2 or 3 articles in the next 1 year, or maybe writing your the dissertation or thesis, probably it's a good strategy to invest in any one of these multi-functionality tools. Uh, Now coming to the online general selection tools, although these tools are not classically AI tools, but obviously in the back end, some AI algorithm is working to recommend good journals for you. So I'll only stick to two. So first is the manuscript matcher by Collaborate. So Collaborate is the same organization that Collaborate is the same organization that offers you impact factor. So what you do is you go online, it's free of cost, and you go on the manuscript matcher. You either enter your title or your abstract, and it's going to give you a selection of journals that are a close match to your research. And then you can filter them by open access, category, country, language, frequency, and journal citation report. But my personal favorite is Jane, Journal Author Name Estimator, a pretty cool, easy, clean user interface. You put in your keywords or your abstract, and it's going to give you a list of journals that are closely related to your research article. And it will help you identify high quality impact factor journals for your research. Before we close, we need to understand that ChatGPT is fantastic, it's powerful, it's common, and most of the people use ChatGPT. But it's always a good idea to explore other options available out there as well. For example, I just told you Gemini by Google is pretty cool. Then Microsoft has its own Copilot, and this Copilot has been integrated in almost every product of Microsoft, including PowerPoint, Excel, Access, and even PowerPoint and even Microsoft Word. So it actually helps improve your workflow tremendously because ChatGPT and other things are not directly integrated in your Word or Excel or PowerPoint, but Copilot has been integrated. Then I told you that Claude is really good in writing because it actually copies and creates a writing style very close to your own writing style. Then Mistral is by a French company, and it is also pretty cool and a powerful LLM which you might want to explore. If you are confused and you want to have a taste of everything, I would recommend you go for u.com and get a subscription for 1 month. It will allow you access to all of these LLMs, 5 or 6 kind of LLMs. And once you're comfortable with one kind, you might want to stick with that particular LLM, or you might want to keep on using u.com and have professional access to all of these LLMs. And if you want to explore other alternative, this is a website known as there is an AI for that.com. It gives you a rating and a detail of different tools available for a particular task. So for example, if you say Jenny is a AI powered writing application, what is the rating of Jenny and what are the alternatives available to Jenny? It's going to give you a whole list. It makes your life pretty easy. So the summary of this presentation is that there's no one perfect tool so far. You have to experiment as per your own need and learn how to use those tools. And please, whenever you use these tools, do not blindly rely on AI generated content because you will be held responsible. The responsibility for any incorrect output, non-authentic output, fake reference, hallucination lies with the person who uses the output, who gives the command or the prompt. So responsibility lies with the human being. There is absolutely nothing wrong with using AI tools. Unfortunately, many seniors are still very reluctant to ethically and transparently integrate these things, but we need to understand the world is moving at a very fast pace. Change is inevitable, growth is optional. So be transparent about the use of AI tool in research and writing, and always keep a record of your chats, of the changes that you have made and how you have used AI tools. And please be proactive because people around you are actively integrating AI tools in their workflow. And you also have to be proactive and learn the use of AI tools. And you cannot learn the use of AI tool or any other skill by lecture and webinars like these. They give you an overview, they give you an idea, but you can only learn and grow these skills if you start using them yourself. So take home messages, please be aware of the hype. There's a lot of hype going on, lot of influencer both on LinkedIn and YouTube who are selling courses and selling AI tools, 10 into your research workflow, stuff like that. Honestly, most of this is still hype. You need a human oversight and avoid information overload. You cannot, as a human being, keep up with the advances in AI tools. You cannot. That's full stop. It's impossible for a human being to be aware of every tool that is being launched every week or being aware of every new update that comes in the market every month and to be an expert of everything. Please don't do that. You will be overwhelmed. So avoid information overload, right? And for those who say, my job is going to be snatched away by AI tools, no, not in the near future. It's not as Baldwin said. It's not that AI. It's not AI that is going to take your job, but someone who knows how to use AI might, because of better and improved productivity. And it doesn't matter how many resources you have. If you don't know how to use them, it will never be enough. We are living in the sort of unfortunate times where our youngsters spend more time on WhatsApp, Instagram, and Facebook scrolling and wasting instead of learning. I know it's a human psyche. It's very difficult to fight with that temptation, but you need to understand now everyone has access to these tools. You and me are no one, nothing special. The special person is the one who creates a focus and remains focused on learning. If you keep on learning, in a couple of months to years, you will be miles ahead of your colleagues who are still wasting their time on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. So thank you very much. If you need a copy of the presentation, you have to give me a feedback. I'm going to share the feedback link in the chat box as well. So please give me a feedback. It's a anonymous feedback. So feel free to write whatever you want to write. And at the end of the feedback, you are going to get a link to the presentation where you can download the presentation. So this is the QR code. I have also shared it in the chat box. So this is my email. I'm only available on LinkedIn, and this is my research gate. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure talking to you all. So now I'm open for question and answers. Thank you very much. I won't share the slide individually. You have to give the feedback, and then you are going to get the slides. The link is given at the end of the feedback because I can't share it individually for everyone. But you want to connect with me, send me an email, and probably I'll share with you. Thank you.
Sir, thank you very much for this very informative presentation. We have a few questions. First question is from Asma Irfan. If she wants to ask her directly, ask the question directly, she can come and she can raise the hand. But I can uh, read the question for you. Please mention data analysis tools again. Thank you.
Again, there are so many tools available out there, and if your data set is not very complex, I would still recommend that stick to the traditional or time honored tools like SPSS, Excel, and R. If your data set is very complex, very large, you might want to go for an AI based tool like Julius, Data Squirrel, or Group T AI. But again, I told you, don't go for the hype. If you are an expert in data analysis using R or SPSS, it is more than enough for most of the medical people out there. Unless your data set is very complex and you want to create or extract such high quality insights that are not available or possible with the routine tools like SPSS, then you might want to go for Julius, Group T, and Data Squirrel. Thank you. Yes, there is a Dr. Munazza has answered. There's a data analysis for, yes, there is honestly, I'm forgetting the name. There's a very good tool for qualitative data analysis as well, but that tool is not available for free. You have probably have to buy a subscription. Honestly, I'm just forgetting the name. You can Google it out. There are a couple of tools, and I experimented with one of the tool. It was pretty good one. Any other question, please?
So
Don't forget
everyone
to give a
is
feedback.
asking कि इसकी प्रेजेंटेशन की हमें जो है वो ऑनलाइन बाद में रिकॉर्डेड वर्जन मिल जाएगा, तो वो हम रिकॉर्डेड वर्जन शेयर नहीं कर रहे। सर ने अपनी प्रेजेंटेशन जो है उसको ऑलरेडी लिंक सेंड कर दिया है। आप लोग उनकी प्रेजेंटेशन डाउनलोड कर सकते हैं, अपना फीडबैक दे सकते हैं और सर से आप डायरेक्टली कॉन्टैक्ट कर सकते हैं थ्रू ईमेल एज मेंशन बाय डॉक्टर फारूक।
Okay, Umar, there a core question I let me answer. Okay, is there any free tool like Turnitin to get pledges and report? Again, there are many free tools available out there, but free tools जो होते हैं ना फिर बड़े कमजोर होते हैं. So yeah, please remember one thing that nothing is free in this world, and if you want to use the free version, they are not going to be as powerful and as useful as the paid versions. So there are many tools. Honestly, I don't remember the name on the top of my head, but there are many free tools available out there. For example, अगर आपने AI कंटेंट चेक करना है तो उसके लिए चैट जीपीटी जीरो इज गुड वन. इट इज प्रॉब्ली मेड बाय द सेम पीपल हु मेड चैट जीपीटी. अच्छा जी,
लेकिन
वसीम
उसमें से
बाबर.
कई दफा वो वर्ड्स की इसमें लिमिट आ जाती है कि 1000 वर्ड्स के
यस,
ऊपर वो चेक करके आपको नहीं बताते, इस तरह की चीजें आ जाती हैं।
exactly, Umar. So that's the issue. If you want to go for the free route, so there is always limitation. For मतलब the full functionality, दुनिया भी ऐसी चलती है. For the full functionality or the premium things or the premium service, you have to pay. But if you want to stick to the basic service, then you have to do it again and again, or you have to face limitation like the one you just told कि उसमें 15,000 मतलब उसकी लिमिट है इसकी अल्फाबेट्स की, समथिंग लाइक दैट।
एक और क्वेश्चन सर जो मेरे माइंड में है कि फॉर एग्जांपल अगर आप अपना एक डॉक्यूमेंट यू प्रिपेयर आर्टिकल आपने एक लिखा उसके बाद यू गिव इट टू एलएलएम और समथिंग जस्ट टू समराइज दिस तो वुड इट बी पिक्ड अप बाय ऑथेंटिकेट और टर्न इट इन एज अ प्लेगरिज्म आफ्टरवर्ड्स?
अच्छा, टू द बेस्ट ऑफ माय नॉलेज आप नोट करें, अगर आप बिकॉज मोस्ट ऑफ अस आई एम अज्यूमिंग वी आर मेडिकल डॉक्टर्स, हमारी ऑनेस्टली अंडरस्टैंडिंग ऑफ दिस एलएलएम इज प्रीटी लिमिटेड, एटलीस्ट मेरी बहुत लिमिटेड है। एंड द वे दीज टेक ब्रोज वर्क कि ये हमारी हर चीज बेचते हैं, इसमें तो कोई शक नहीं है, ठीक है, डेटा इज वेल्थ, राइट? एंड ऑल्दो दे क्लेम कि हम नहीं करेंगे, बट अगेन आई डोंट बिलीव दैट, दैट्स द फर्स्ट थिंग। But having said that, we need to understand that there are billions and billions of interactions being done every day. And I doubt कि इल्म के उस समंदर में अगर आपका मेरा एक सिंगल कतरा चला जाएगा ना, तो that is going to be picked up by any these kind of authenticate, because these LLM इनका जो back end है, they don't give access to authenticate for checking. We need to understand जो authenticate या turnitin है, ये basically academic websites, journals और उनको check करता है, उससे क्रॉस रेफरेंस करता है। ये जो होता है ना, ये चैट जीपीटी, मिस्ट्रल या जो ये है अपना क्लॉड है, वो उसके डेटाबेस से चेक नहीं करता। तो आई डाउट कि आप कोई चीज अगर अपलोड करोगे तो वो क्या नाम है उसमें फ्लैग हो जाएगी। दैट्स द फर्स्ट थिंग। बट द सेकंड थिंग इज, अगर ऐसी कोई चीज करनी भी है ना, मेरा मशवरा आपको होगा कि चैट जीपीटी में एक ऑप्शन होती है टेम्पररी चैट, और इसी तरह क्या नाम है एक ऑप्शन होती है जेमिनाई में, गूगल जेमिनाई में, कि जहाँ आप लिखते हो कि पॉज जो है ना हिस्ट्री, तो उसमें होता है कि फिर वो उसमें लिखते हैं कि हम अगर आप पॉज हिस्ट्री कर दो या अगर आप टेम्पररी चैट करोगे, तो उस सिलसिले में दे डू नॉट कलेक्ट योर डेटा एंड दे डू नॉट कीप दैट इन अ रिकॉर्ड। सो दैट इज समथिंग सेफ बेट। तीसरी ऑप्शन ये है कि आजकल कुछ वेबसाइट्स आई हुई हैं, अगेन आई एम सॉरी, मैं नाम जेहन से निकल रहा है मेरे, रिव्यू इट ऐसा कुछ करके, कि जो एक्चुअली विच आर स्पेसिफिक फॉर पीयर रिव्यू, कि यू अपलोड योर आर्टिकल एंड दे एक्चुअली क्रिएट अ वेरी डिटेल्ड एआई पावर्ड लिटरेचर पीयर रिव्यू रिपोर्ट फॉर यू। और उसमें बड़ा क्लियर लिखा होता है कि वट एवर वी यूज, वी डू नॉट शेयर द डेटा। तो वो एक सेफ बेट हो सकती है। तो ये तीन ऑप्शन हैं, कि पहला है कि अगर आप अपलोड करते हो तो इट हाईली अनलाइकली कि वो टर्निटिन की डेटाबेस में जाएगा, बिकॉज इन दोनों का आपस में कोई ताल्लुक नहीं है। नंबर टू ये है कि फिर भी जस्ट सेफर साइड टेम्पररी चैट इस्तेमाल करें। और थर्ड ये है कि जो स्पेसिफिक वेबसाइट्स हैं फॉर पीयर रिव्यू, आप वो इस्तेमाल कीजिए।
आपकी
मायरा,
क्वेश्चन है
यस
सर?
यस, थैंक यू। सॉरी सॉरी, ये किसी ने, यस, डॉक्टर मुजफ्फर बिल्कुल सही, मायरा, यस, मायरा, माई आर ए व्हाट है दिस इज फॉर क्वालिटेटिव डेटा एनालिसिस। मैंने थोड़ा सा एक्सप्लोर किया था, मैं डिटेल में नहीं गया, बट इट वाज वेरी इंट्यूटिव और इसकी बड़ी जबरदस्त क्या मैंने वो यूजर इंटरफेस, यस।
अशर खान ने
ओके।
सर क्वेश्चन किया कि हाउ मच राइटिंग विद चैट जीपीटी इज राइट, लेट्स सपोज वी आर राइटिंग इंट्रोडक्शन, हाउ मच हेल्प फ्रॉम चैट जीपीटी इज अलाउड टू राइट द इंट्रोडक्शन?
Again, I just told you that you have to read and know about the instruction issued by your own university or the journal in which you plan to publish. They vary from journal to journal. Many journals, at least in Pakistan, have unfortunately not even issued any guidelines on the use of AI tools, but some allow up to 18 to 21%. So in that case, it's not about introduction; it's about the whole article. एंड यू कांट डू लाइक दिस कि आपका जो आर्टिकल है उसमें आपने जो इंट्रोडक्शन है वो सारी चैट जीपीटी से है और बाकी आपने खुद लिखा है। क्योंकि जिस तरह आपका ये टर्निटिव वगैरह है ना, जिस तरह ये प्लेजिज्म पिक करता है आजकल, ये एआई डिटेक्शन भी पिक करता है। तो बड़ा वो एक ऑड लगता है कि आपका पूरे का पूरा जो इंट्रोडक्शन है वो फ्लैग हो गया है एज इफ इट इज रिटन बाय एन एआई टूल। सो इट्स ऑलवेज गुड दैट वट एवर यू राइट और यू गेट फ्रॉम एन एआई टूल, always use your own creativity to improve, enhance, and sort of like change whatever is written. Don't simply copy and paste. Matlab, this is the only advice I can give you. You do not rely on these tools and read the instruction to authors.
There's another question from Bhaskar. Is there any way to automate the whole research process using AI in high-end devices? And of course, it will be overlooked thoroughly.
Okay, first thing is, to the best of my knowledge, I do not know of a single process. But since we are living in the time where AI agents are rapidly being created and deployed, so I do think that in the coming days, this process is going to be automated by using AI agents, but what we call an agentic search, sort of like that. Having said that, I do not feel and I don't think that the whole process is going to be automated. Why? Because at least in biomedical science, many, I mean, if you talk of a systematic review, so systematic review is simply nothing else but a good data analysis. You don't even need to go to a patient bedside, right? You can do everything sitting in front of a laptop. A PICO research question, data literature search, data extraction, bias assessment, and writing part. So for that, yes, different tools are available and you can integrate that in a workflow. But for example, you are doing a randomized control trial. So recruiting a live patient in a hospital or a clinical setting, or doing a live clinical examination of a patient, or for example, in case of a surgeon who has to perform a surgery and see the post-op outcome, I don't see that in the future it's possible even to automate that process. And probably on a side note, wherever there's a hype of AI is going to take up our job, one of the most secure jobs in medical science in the future, at least in the near future, are those of surgeons. So congratulations, Umar, you are very safe. Yeah,
थैंक यू सर। ये एक और क्वेश्चन आया है, व्हाट इज द
please.
फ्यूचर ऑफ आर्टिकल राइटिंग एज टेक्नोलॉजी इज चेंजिंग रैपिडली? इसका कोई फायदा भी होगा सर, जब सारे आर्टिकल्स ही एआई के थ्रू आ रहे हैं, तो इन द एंड इज इट गोइंग टू बी ऑफ एनी यूज टू अस?
Very important question. Again, the world is changing and the world does not work and does not think the way you and me think. Because many people are either pushed or they are more interested in this publish or perish mantra. And you see many medical students right from third year, fourth year, they make groups and they're writing systematic reviews, right? Without doing any actual primary research. So this is a concern being raised that in the near future, we will have article written by chatbots being read by chatbots and being evaluated by chatbots. So yes, this is a concern that is being shown by some experts that if you don't have some sort of like a check and balance, the literature is going to be flooded with a large number of AI written article. But this is a concern that is being shared, and no one has actually given a solution to that. Because let's say if you and me make a pact with our own self that we are not going to submit an AI written article, we know that there are many of our colleagues and juniors who are going to do that. So the world does not work on how we think, but this is a challenge of these rapidly changing times, which does not have a very easy answer, in my opinion.
I was going through your LinkedIn, sir, and there was a post regarding 33 submitted
Yep.
abstracts that in one conference, that too.
Yep. Yes. Yes. One of the students, or maybe if it was resident, he was very proudly saying that 33 of my abstract have been accepted at a local oncology conference. And when I explored his profile, the guy was going to be an aspiring cardiologist. So I was unable to make that connection that if you're becoming a cardiologist, how presenting in an oncology conference going to help you? And probably you and me can now make this differentiation that once you follow a particular pathway, so honestly, it is not going to help you if you have too much of a diverse portfolio. So, I mean, if a surgeon has something in ENT and psychiatry and pathology, in the real world, honestly, he's not going to get that kind of credit and respect for that. People are going to respect you for your hard work in your own specialty. So, yes, diversification is good, but you shouldn't be too much diverse that you feel like clueless that you are going every kind of direction. You need to be very focused.
Just adding the numbers is not the solution, it's quality
Yeah,
research. Okay, one last question, sir. There's a question from again
Ashka.
Bhaskar. Is there any best AI tool to guide or help us in navigating throughout SRMS?
Okay, systematic review, meta-analysis. Bhaskar, as I just mentioned, that you have to break down the process into steps. So, for example, in case of a systematic review and meta-analysis, it all starts from creating a question in the PICO format, then doing a literature search, creating inclusion-exclusion criteria, doing the process of search, extracting the data, creating the tables, and then doing the bias assessment. So, yes, there are many tools available out there which are going to help you through the process. So, off the top of my head, I can quote one of the tools which is known as Ryan. Probably it is Rayyan, and it is probably from Qatar. And it's a pretty good tool. And there are other tools available out there. For example, Evidence Hunt is going to give you an literature search in form of PICO, which will help you identify your own PICO questions. So yes, different tools are available, but you have to combine different tools. And probably there's no one single tool available that is going to do all of the function of a systematic review or meta-analysis for you because it's a pretty complex process and a pretty complex steps. So
Okay,
good,
how
great.
long can a good SRM be completed using AI tools? Normally it's 6 months minimum time, लेकिन आप सर बताइएगा.
Yeah, I totally agree. So in good old times when everything was being done manual, Cochrane, the world highest ranking systematic review, used to take anywhere between 12 months to 24 months to complete. 12 months, 24. But Dr. Umar is correct that because of this AI tool, the process has been you can do it now pretty quickly. So if you have a really good team and you know what are the steps and you're expert, people are actually doing these systematic reviews and meta-analysis in around 3 months and less as well. But again, the same thing, just writing a systematic review and meta-analysis means nothing if it is not going to get you any citations, if it is a duplicate of a similar topic, or it is being done just to boost the number of your publication. Every publication should actually make, if not a huge difference like a Nobel Prize, some difference. It should give you some citations, some, like, I mean, that kind of thing, that my article is being read and it's getting some kind of attention. So you need to understand, just like in the real world out there, good products, excellent high quality products are never done or created in haste. Whatever people say, AI tool or no AI tool, this is the principle of nature. Over the millions of years, one thing is very clear: whether it is creation of a human being in a mother's womb or it is creation of a beautiful architecture on a rock, it takes time. That's the crux of it. So don't get drowned in this hype that I'm going to write 5 systematic review in next 1 year. So what's the big deal? You can write 50, I mean, from my side, but is it going to make any difference? So just take things easily, enjoy the journey, learn, grow, help others learn, and make it a very good experience for you, right?
Thank you very much,
So
sir.
I
I think
think
this is all for today. There are no further questions, I think. And on behalf of Mubahith Solutions, unfortunately, the CEO had to leave in between. And, on behalf of her, I thank you for being here and for such nice presentation, such, candid answers to the questions. And
thank you.
once again, a lot of people have asked for the recording. I think it's not going to be available. We are going to share the highlights of the recordings, and the presentation is available on the form which is shared by Dr. Farooq himself. And thank you very much, sir.
बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया and thank you everyone. Allah Hafiz. Hope to see you soon, inshallah.
Once again, thank you very much, sir. And thank you everybody who are here and who have joined us. Thank you so much.